Hello fellow truckers and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We are continuing our career mode in the International Lonestar with this awesome international orange paint job. We are running a load of a wind turbine nacelle from Spokane to Grangeville, Idaho. And yeah, kind of one of the more interesting loads that I've done so far. It looks to be like it's loaded on a little lowboy here. I actually did have to pull it out of the spot there so we could get a nice view before we got started here. But yeah, we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and get ourselves on the road. Before we get started, let me remind you guys to click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you find this content valuable and entertaining and all of that stuff. You know, I generally wait till the end of the video to ask that, but I need to start doing it towards the beginning so that those of you who don't stay for the entire thing will at least be reminded to do it. Looks like we got about 4 hours of in-game time until we reach our destination, which means it's probably going to be about a 20-minute run, so that's pretty good. Not going to take us too long to get there, and you know, hopefully I can do like I've been doing and keep it relatively entertaining for those of you who are just along for the ride. So yeah, I'm just coming off of a video from my Elite Dangerous series where I don't want to say I went off on somebody, but it wasn't the most pleasant video, and I'm kind of curious to see how that video is going to do, because it wasn't my normal trying to be positive and happy and all that stuff, because you know, people can be jerks sometimes, and I spent the entire episode ranting about it. That's kind of the long and the short of it. You know, none of us are perfect, and we all do things that we probably shouldn't do. I'm not going to take it back. I could just delete the episode. It's not like it's public yet. But you know what? I try to be real with you guys, and I'm just going to leave it up. And whatever happens is whatever happens. And hopefully, some people understand, and those who don't will hopefully find somewhere else to go. So yeah, let's get ourselves out of this little town here. We can hopefully get on the road and have a nice, easy, quick drive into Idaho. I've been looking forward to getting off the west coast and starting to get into more of the interior of the country. So getting into Idaho is going to be pretty nice. I wish I had some of the other DLC, but I'm gonna have to wait for another sale so I can get them all at a really good price. I don't want to have to buy all of this stuff at full price, especially since I'm so far behind. It's easier to do when you're buying these things as they come out, and you're like, oh, I can spend, you know, 5, 10, whatever. I don't even know what are the prices for them. Are they release them at like $15 at a time, something like that? So if I can wait for a really good, you know, a really good discount or whatever, and get all of them for say 20 or 30 bucks, that would be super cool. Red Battery? I've never heard of that company before. It's supposed to be all like realistic companies here. All right, still trying to figure out this braking with my left foot thing. For those of you who aren't aware, I am using my Cytec G Pro flight yoke system as my steering wheel and pedals because you know, it's the closest thing I have right now to a steering wheel. I did have a Logitech G920 with the shifter and the pedals and all that stuff back in the day, but you know, we all tend to be short-sighted sometimes, and I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to hold on to random stuff, and I wasn't using it. So I was like, let me sell this so I can get some money back out of it and, you know, find something else to do. And of course, here I am trying to start a new series with American Truck Simulator on my channel, and I don't have the steering wheel that I had. And I'm you know, I want to say that I'm kicking myself now for having done that, but I mean, it was a couple of years ago, and at the time I had absolutely zero reason to believe that I should need to hold on to that steering wheel, because I was like, I don't really need this. And I'm also kind of like, if I'm gonna do something, I kind of want to do it right. So I'm hoping that I can get to the point, you know, if this series actually takes off and you guys are interested and you continue to watch and we get to the point where the channel starts to make some money and I can start investing in my stuff and, you know, a whole long list of things that have to happen first. But if those things do happen, I can probably start investing in a sort of sim pit that will allow me to have like a flight sim set up, and like I want to make it modular. I know some people like to have separate areas for their separate things that they do, and I'm like, no, I want to set my thing up so that I can have everything in one place and I just swap out my parts and figure out a system that allows me to do that super easy. That way I can have everything, because I mean, I'm moving back into my travel trailer here pretty soon. I'm not going to have room to have a bunch of different setups. So if I could have like a little sim pit area in the living room area, you know, in the main room of the trailer, be perfect. Especially if I can get myself set up for VR and I don't need like big screens and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know. For the trucking game, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Part of the appeal of building a sim pit is building something that allows you to physically see and touch and do all of that stuff and make you feel like you're actually, you know, driving the vehicle. And while VR is great for flight sims because, you know, I really want to see that. I don't know how. And you know, the other thing is I'm not sure what the VR experience is really going to look like in American Truck Simulator, because I do have a Pimax 5K VR headset, and I have tried VR in American Truck Simulator with the beta that they have. But with the hardware that I have and the really bad optimization that the game has for the VR part, it's not a good experience. Let me just put it that way. It's not a good experience in the slightest. It's not a good experience. Everything's blurry. The text is unreadable. The text for the signs and stuff is completely unreadable until I'm like right on top of it. Like even worse than what we're seeing right now in 1080p. It's bad. It's pretty bad. So, is this a right turn only, or can I go straight? The lane looks like it goes straight, so I think I'm okay. Because we need to make a right turn up at the next light, not this one. So, you know, I'd love to make videos for this in VR. And honestly, if that ends up being the case, I wouldn't even really care about a steering wheel at that point, because, you know, it's going to be kind of hard to... I mean, I guess you can make it work with the shifter, if I could get a shifter and all that stuff. But I wouldn't be able to do any of the buttons or any of that other stuff. I'd have to... I mean, I guess I could. I don't know. I'm kind of it's kind of a pointless discussion anyways, because I'm months, if not years, away from the point where my channel is going to be able to help me invest in that stuff. So it's all just kind of wishful thinking at this point. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that I don't even know. I've lost track because I got distracted by my discussion of VR. Because I was telling you guys about how difficult it is for me to you know, get used to braking in this version, or with the setup that I have now, because I'm using... Oh, okay. That came out faster than I thought. So stop sign, stop sign, stop sign. Make sure there's nobody coming. Turn a turn signal on, and get onto the road. Okay. Okay, I keep getting distracted from my point, and I don't remember what I was saying. I know it had something to do with braking and the... Oh, yeah. Because the rudder pedals, I'm basically using the toe brakes on my rudder pedals as my gas and brake, and there's no feedback, and the spring on it provides very little to no resistance. So it's very easy to over-brake if you're not paying attention. I'm going way too fast, but the speed limit is popping up to 45 now, so we should be okay. There we go. All right, so we're going to enjoy a nice long drive in what appears to be back road highways. That's not the best, but you know. Oh, and the speed limit popped up to 65. I don't know if I want to go up to 65 yet. Depends on how fast. Oh, look at this! Look at the boats and stuff out here. That's cool. Okay, I'd like to get up to 65, but I feel like 65 is way too fast for these sharp turns over here. So we'll have to kind of have to play it by ear. Let's hang out at 55 for now, and if these turns don't feel too uncomfortable, I'll bump it up to 60. Gotta make sure I'm staying off to the right so my trailer doesn't hit over. These turns are relatively sharp. Yeah, it doesn't seem like 55. It doesn't seem like 55 is too bad, so we'll bump it up to 60 and let it hit the speed limit here. I don't know that I'm going to remember to say it every episode for those of you who are watching, but I did turn off the traffic violations, not because I'm trying to be unrealistic with my sim experience, but because there are a couple of issues with the way that they implement it that make it rather annoying, and I just don't want to deal with it. The primary one being the fact that they continue to ding me for turning right on red, which is perfectly legal here for those of you who are not Americans and don't know about the rules here. We are allowed to turn right on red. If you play Euro Truck Simulator, you do absolutely get a penalty for that, and you should, because it's illegal there. But here in America, we are allowed to turn right on red, and the game keeps penalizing me for doing that, and no, I'm not doing that. Not only is it unrealistic, it's really frustrating because it forces you to either waste a bunch of time or pay the penalty every time. So that's one part. And then something that's more rare but is still frustrating when it happens, if the AI decides it's going to crash into you for whatever reason, it still penalizes you for that, and then you end up having to lose money because the AI decided it's just going to, oh, we're going to change lanes now, bam. And then there's nothing you can do about that. So, or if they pull out in front of you and you can't stop in time, like what almost just happened now. All right, hold on. Yeah, I would like to go around this guy, but like I said, I'm trying. Even though I've turned the penalties off, I'm going to drive as if I didn't. So we'll slow down here and wait for this guy, and hopefully we'll be able to get where we're going. So yeah, I won't say that every episode. Just for now, for those of you who have been following the series and you've seen my frustration with every time a penalty comes up that wasn't particularly reasonable, well, there's that. Now, the only flip side of that is if I end up inadvertently speeding, well, we're not going to get charged for that. And if I miss a way station, we're not going to get charged for that. Not much I can do about that, but I'm going to be doing my best to make sure that those things don't happen anyway. So I can't promise it'll never happen, so it is what it is. I'm mostly just trying to make sure that there aren't any uncomfortable silences. What is it called in the broadcast? Dead air. I'm trying to make sure there's very little to no dead air in these episodes, because my understanding is that for some of my most watched content, especially the Elite Dangerous stuff I referenced earlier, I've received specific comments that did confirm that they were watching my content mostly because they enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, there's always that. And I know that for me, some of the... I do watch one, or I have been watching one trucking sim guy, Jeff Faviano, and I find that, seeing the trucks that he's driving is pretty cool at first, but it's mostly just watching him or listening to him talk while he drives, and he kind of puts you at ease, and you feel like you're in the truck, and you're all just kind of driving down the road and enjoying kind of like a Sunday drive experience, but in a big rig. So I'm trying to keep that going and making it so that you guys don't get bored. I'm hoping that we'll eventually get to the point where I have enough of a continuing viewership that you guys start leaving comments down below saying, hey, you should talk about this, or hey, you should talk about that. And then I can actually start having like not necessarily, obviously not a real-time conversation, but, having a conversation with you guys. If you have anything that you would be interested in me specifically discussing while we're taking these drives, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll try to remember to cover that in the next time I record a video. I make no promises, though. I have a Dory-style short-term memory, and while I will read your comment, and I will definitely say, hey, thanks for the feedback, and I'll try to, and I'll tell you I'll try to put it in the video, it won't necessarily actually happen, not because I don't want to talk about your stuff, but mostly just because when I'm in the middle of recording, it's a performance art, and it's not really stress, it's mostly just you're focused on trying to get things done, and if I don't remember that I had a comment I was supposed to talk about, it won't happen. But keep bugging me about it, and it will eventually get put into an episode, because it'll finally get, bashed into my brain enough to where I remember it. I can't read what that says. Is that yeah, okay, so we need to stop over at this way station. Is it, okay, I think it's up here a little further. Okay, yeah, we're pulling into here for the way station. Guess I didn't need, I don't need to worry about the turn signals unless, I'm mostly just using the turn signals for the camera function, so I need to remember not to do that. Okay, you stopped a little too fast. But okay. Alright, so we gotta wait for this guy to... Yeah, we gotta wait for these... Oop. Alright, I wish he was a little bit more smooth with his driving, because he waits until he gets to the last second and then stomps on his brakes. That's a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Let's get pulled up, we'll get weighed, and then on our way. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, I need to bring up the interface so that I can make sure that they get my stuff done. Why did he not have to stop? Alright, there we go. Now we can get back on our way and head towards our destination. So right now I'm kind of recording extra episodes today. I already did my full set of videos this morning. but I'm recording extra episodes today because I try to make sure I have a decent amount of content for what I consider my days off. Because I try to make sure I have a couple of days a week where I'm not recording because family and all that stuff, and I want to make sure that, you know, I have full days off where I'm not committing myself to doing work stuff. So I'm actually planning on doing this episode right now, and then for that's going to be scheduled for a couple of days from now, and then one more after this one, because this is the one where I feel like I want a little bit more progression, because I'd like to level up a little bit more and get us into some more equipment. Okay, we're going a little fast around this curve. Let me try to control this. We got a runaway truck ramp down a mile away. Brake a little bit to try to keep us under control here. Speed limit is 60. I'm gonna set the cruise control to 60, and then hopefully the transmission will hold us and prevent us from going too much faster than that. Man, it applied pretty hard. Okay, what are we doing here? No, I think I need to get over. Sorry, bud. Cruise control set to 45. Don't want to be speeding if we can avoid it. So yeah, I'm not... Oh, still too fast. Dude. Okay, I wasn't really expecting that. Try to get myself back on track here. Get over into the right lane where I'm supposed to be and keep it moving. So anyways, yeah, I'm trying to get some extra recordings done this evening because, you know, I have nothing else to do other than watch TV, and I might as well do something productive when nobody's here. Get through all of this. I'm one of the big things I'm kind of trying to worry about right now is the fact that I need a decent internet solution. Oh, another way station. I need a decent internet solution for living in my travel trailer. I'm trying to find a really good option for remote internet that I can have unlimited data, especially the uploading, because as you guys know, I have a fairly rigorous upload schedule for my channel, and I need to be able to make sure that that is not something that is interrupted by like data caps and things like that. So obviously Starlink is generally the primary option that people look at when they're looking for, you know, premium RV or premium mobile internet service. But at the same time, it has its issues, and I'm making sure we don't hit something. The cool thing about this truck is that those nose mirrors do provide me with a little bit of advance warning on some of these turns that we're doing. But anyways, the only problem I have with the Starlink thing is number one, the initial price is like really expensive. It's very expensive to get into the service, and the monthly service is actually pretty expensive. 100 and something, like $180 a month if you're going to get any of the decent tiers of data, any of the decent tiers of the mobile version of their service. And then the other thing is that if you have any kind of obstruction with the sky, I've heard from multiple different sources that you're going to have an issue with your connection. So as much as I love the idea of a satellite service that works everywhere, having to worry about when it rains, am I going to have internet? And what if it rains for several days? What am I going to do? You know, I don't know how bad it is. I've seen enough reviews where they say, if you have any obstruction of the sky, including weather, you're going to have issues. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to deal with that. There are a couple of other 5G related services that from what I understand, I think they go through something similar to the cell phone towers, but it's something different, something called C-band or E-band or something like that. My understanding is that it's somehow different from the cell phone network, and a lot of those will provide unlimited. Ooh, sorry, I'm trying not to crash here because these turns are a little sharp for 65 miles an hour. There's several of them out there that claim to provide unlimited internet service, but at the same time, like one of the ones I saw was Nomad Internet, and I see positive reviews, and then I also see very negative reviews about it when it comes to reliability of the service, and then customer service when things go wrong, and just account issues and things like that. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with that. And then apparently, the gear that they offer is you never own it. You're just, it's included in your price that you're paying, and you're renting it. So I'm like, well, I don't know about that. They want to charge you, like they make you pay up front for it. From what I saw, they make you pay up front for it, but it's not yours. You still have to return the device when you're done. And I'm like, well, that's like you have to pay, like it's an expensive upfront fee that you pay for, but then you have to return the device. Now, mind you, this is all stuff I saw on comments on YouTube reviews and things like that. So I may be completely wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I've seen enough negative reviews in various different places to where I'm pretty leery about that specific company and just other companies that are similar to that. So I don't know. I'm trying to. I really want to find an option that is going to give me a very solid internet experience. It doesn't have to be like, I've gotten used to having fiber speeds like 400 or 500 megabits per second, like literally in my house, because the fiber goes all the way into my modem, and it's insanely fast, and it's like the best internet I've ever had. But obviously going to a mobile internet solution is not going to be like that, and I'm willing to accept that if I can get to where I'm getting 100 plus megabits per second most of the time. I'd be pretty satisfied with that, I think. Starlink and all those other ones, they claim to be up in like the 200 megabits per second range, but that's like best case scenario. I don't imagine the average person is getting that in every location. I don't know. I would just appreciate some real reviews from people who have seen different options and can kind of provide some help in that category, because I do want to be in my RV, and I do want to be able to be mobile and not have to mess around with the internet, and just have a solution that works. And if that ends up being Starlink, then okay, but I'm not necessarily married to that idea. Give myself a little bit of room. Oh, it's a cemetery over here. I don't think I've ever seen a cemetery in this game before. And there's somebody walking through that cemetery. That's a little trailer park. I grew up in a trailer park. There's no real relevance to that. It reminded me that I grew up in a trailer park. I don't say I grew up in a trailer park. I mean, I spent most of my child in a trailer park, but my high school years were spent in an apartment and then a house. Or my middle school years were spent in an apartment, and then my high school years were in a house. All right, stop sign here. Yeah, I really don't like it. Oh, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Give me room. Thank you. I know that you can set the camera so that you can turn it slowly to the left, and it will eventually stick your head out the window, but I don't have a spare key set to do that particular one, and I want the snappy version that allows me to just snap back and forth. So when I'm in that situation, I don't really have an option for getting that view that kind of lets me tilt my head out the window and make sure nobody's coming. Obviously, if I was using the head tracking solution, then I could just do that, but I haven't wanted to mess with it. All right, so we need to get this backed into the lot here, and then we can go ahead and be done for this trip. So let's pull in this way. I'll actually pull forward just a little bit more to make sure that we're all nice and straight. All right. Turn off all of our steering aids, get ourselves in reverse and look backwards, and then we'll steer the trailer, not the truck, all the way back into the space. Trying to stay focused and make sure that I know that it's going where I want it to go. Overcorrect a little bit because I don't think I turned far enough. Yeah, I think we need to fix this. So let's pull up a little bit to the right. go. Okay, almost there. Just need to get this backed up and relatively lined up properly, and then we'll be all set. We'll be all set. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more viewers. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so now so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed and you'll be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. If channel members do also get early access to all of my videos along with several other perks depending on the tier that you choose. So click that join button, check out the list of options available to you, and if any of them feel right, go ahead and become a supporting member of the channel. Again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys had lots of fun, and I'll see you for the next one.